1971, William Friedkin directed The French Connection. It received 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of the Year. In 1974, he directed The Exorcist. It made history. Since then, Friedkin has spent over 2 years in 5 countries on 3 continents, creating his latest film, an unusual adventure into the realm of suspense. 4 men take an incredible chance, face an impossible challenge, and risk the only thing they have left to lose. Roy Scheider, in a new film by William Friedkin. Sorcerer, rated PG, parental guidance suggested.
For over 30 years now, Sorcerer has been hailed as William Friedkin's most disregarded and controversial masterpiece. Friedkin has spent many years wanting to recirculate the film in its entirety back into the public, as he himself regards it as his masterpiece and his most personal film. One of the best parts of Sorcerer is how simplified the plot is. It's about 4 men who are down on their luck. They're stuck in this small South America village when they are hired to drive trucks filled with nitroglycerin through the rough, rugged terrain of the South American jungle to an oil field and to stop an oil fire that's devastating the land. Sorcerer should have been an instant classic, and it has all the moving parts of one. Yet until now, not many people have ever heard of it. And I think one of the problems was, when you make a movie like The Exorcist, being the most successful film of all time in the horror genre, and you follow it up with a movie called Sorcerer, and it's not a horror film, well, there's bound to be some confusion there amongst moviegoers. However, I think the biggest problem that hurt the film was the timing of the release date, being the summer of 1977. And there was one small movie that came out around the same time. Sorcerer didn't stand a chance. With the new movement of the summer blockbuster that started with movies like Jaws, Star Wars, Close Encounters, and others, Sorcerer was quickly snuffed out. And it's a real shame. The film is grand. It feels like a small movie that turns into something huge, and is easily one of the best films of the 70s, and is certainly the missing masterpiece of that era. The film is chock full of suspense, action, superb acting, a compelling and solid story, beautiful cinematography, and skillful direction that only a genius like Friedkin can accomplish with a movie like this. And it also rounds out Friedkin's trilogy with The French Connection and The Exorcist, and Sorcerer is just as good, if not better. Especially when Friedkin dives into the meat of the film, with these guys driving beat up, broken down trucks, again filled with nitroglycerin, and the suspense of the 3 action set pieces are some of the best of that time. Unlike modern action where our heroes go up against impossible crazy odds, jumping off skyscrapers, bouncing off walls, the action scenes in Sorcerer brings true realism, where it feels like this is how something like this would actually go down in real life, and this is just something we don't see in today's cinema. There is one major scene that has the trucks filled with nitroglycerin crossing a dilapidated roped bridge during a violent storm, and it's an incredible scene you have to see. It's the iconic scene in the film that's used for all the promotional material. It's one of the best one of the best suspense sequences on film. I'd put it right up there with Raiders Lost Ark, but done in a much more realistic fashion. How Friedkin handled this scene creates such suspense because, again, it's done for real. The bridge is real, the storm is real, the trucks are real, the river is real. In fact, Roy Scheider did his own stunts knowing if a stuntman did them, it will ruin the realism of the scene. And Friedkin directs the scene in such a way where it never feels absurd, and this is just one scene out of many that are skillfully done. There are very few movies where I can honestly say I was actually white-knuckled or on the edge of my seat with, and Sorcerer is that movie. And the conclusion was something unexpected. It goes to a place where I just didn't expect it to go to. If you're interested in cinema, interested in film or filmmaking on absolutely any level, this is the movie to see. It is truly a masterpiece of lost cinema.